Hello and welcome to the briefing room. I'm your host, Chief David Malloy of the Novi Police Department, and today we're going to talk about some of the new and innovative programs that the men and women of the Novi Police Department are initiating, particularly during these cost-saving times and these tough economic times that we find ourselves in today. Joining me here today, I have Sergeant Michael Warren from our Training and Standards section, and also we have new police cadet Lauren Scapani, who joined our organization just over 3 months ago. And both of you, welcome to the briefing room.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sergeant Warren, why don't you tell us a little bit about how this process evolved? And it really started from a City Council goal-setting session back in early 2008, where the Council was looking at new and innovative ways that we could enhance the customer service level of the Novi Police Department.
City Council, they decided that they wanted to have this program because they want to enhance the customer service that's afforded to the people that come to the Novi Police Department, but it was also a way that we could enjoy some time savings for the men and women of the uniform division by redeploying them back out on the street.
Absolutely. And I think what we are looking at thus far is what a lot of people didn't realize is prior to the implementation of this program, just over a month and a half ago, after 5 o'clock at night, if you were to come into the Novi Police Department, you would have to pick up a phone on the wall and call into dispatch and then wait for someone to be there. There was not someone sitting at the front desk 24 hours a day. And now we're able to improve that level of service that we're providing our 55,000 plus community members that come into the station. And I think we've received some phenomenal feedback on that.
We have people that have come to the police department prior to the cadet program, have come in since then, have commented how nice it is to actually speak face-to-face to a person instead of having to go to that phone on the wall and call dispatch.
Absolutely. Lauren, why don't you tell the viewing audience a little bit about yourself, your background, and your career goals as you continue to get into this profession of criminal justice.
I am a 2006 graduate of Howell High School. I'm in my third year at Medina University, majoring in criminal justice. Prior to my police cadet position, I interned with the United States Secret Service, which was an amazing opportunity. After I graduate at Medina, I plan to go on and get my master's, and then hopefully gain experience at the local level of law enforcement, and hopefully continue on to a federal position, maybe with Secret Service or the DEA.
Okay. And you actually come from, I believe your father was in law enforcement.
My dad, he is a retired Detroit police officer, 25 years, and he is now an Oakland County Sheriff's Deputy, along with my uncle, who was a sergeant in the Marine Division, my grandpa, who was also part-time in Oakland County.
Great, great. What has been some of the challenges that you faced? And we sent you through a very exhaustive training program prior to implementing the cadet initiative. What has been some of the challenges that you faced thus far in your early career?
I think one of the largest challenges was just getting used to all of the new rules and
technologies,
our guidelines, all of the computer programs that we use, and just getting used to the job and doing everything kind of on my own. When I was at Secret Service, I was always shadowing someone, and now it's my job and it's my duties that I have to do by myself. So.
And that's kind of where we came from with the extensive training program. Is we're a firm believer in learning through doing. We weren't going to turn you loose until we felt everyone was ready. And I think one of the things is that you see yourself performing the preliminary breath test and taking the minor crime reports. It doesn't not necessarily require a uniformed police officer, and that's where we're really starting to see some of those time savings. So you guys are doing an excellent job. And Sergeant Warren, if you could speak a little bit about some of the savings that we are seeing in terms of just the first month or so that we've had this program in place.
Well, Chief, the most significant savings we had in the first month was that we can document over 224 hours of savings for our uniform division, where the men and women, where they normally would have been in the station without the cadet program, now they're able to focus back on the community and focus on traffic enforcement.
Yeah, traffic enforcement, crime prevention, preventative patrols, which is really big. We particularly with the warmer months coming about, we're going to spend a tremendous amount of time in our residential subdivisions, making sure that the speeds are being monitored, that the children are safe who are playing on the sidewalks and in the yards. That's always a number one goal of ours. The 220 plus hours, that really equates to 5 weeks in all actual terms of a uniformed police officer's time. So that's 5 weeks that we've been able to save, and those officers are able to stay out on the streets performing those preventative functions to ensure that we continue to have a very safe, vibrant, and healthy community. We saw from our community survey results that the community is very pleased with the level of service from the Novi Police Department, as they are with all city services, and that they feel safe in their neighborhoods. They feel safe in the downtown, not only during the day, but also at night. So that, I think, is going to continue to increase as a result of us being able to rededicate more resources to the uniform division and really out on patrol, because that's what the perception is, I think, of the organization, is that the men and women in the marked vehicles, in the uniforms, when the citizens see that, they do have that feeling of safety and perception. So, Mike, can you speak a little bit about some of the costs that are involved in initiating this, and what we were looking at, and how that has really not comparative to where we have to by paying full-time salaries for individuals?
Well, Chief, the cadet program, the people who participate, it's an at-will, ineligible part-time position, which means we're not paying benefits for the cadets. We're paying them as part-time employees, and that's a huge cost savings when it comes to paying a uniformed patrol officer who's at top pay, who is receiving benefits. So it's just a better use of our resources, economic resources, when it comes up. We tried to look at how much we thought we were going to save, and quite honestly, we were saving quite a bit more than we even anticipated.
That's fantastic. And Lauren, I know some of the other things that you are involved with, in addition to the duties at the front desk, but you're also involved in helping officers process prisoners. Can you speak a little bit about that?
That has been an awesome opportunity for experience. When the officers bring prisoners into the station, I help log them into the system, and I fingerprint them on the fingerprint machine, and I think it saves the officers a lot of time, because while I'm doing that, they're able to count their properties and just take care of other paperwork that they need to get done.
Right. And I think what we're seeing right now is we're not almost half, but we're pretty close to reducing and cutting that time that it takes them to book a prisoner by almost half that time. And I think over the course, once you become more familiar with it, and once the officers become more familiar with, and you guys get a system down on who's going to actually do what, I think we're really going to be able to see a significant improvement in that. So we're really looking forward to that, and seeing, and again, realizing those savings, because the ultimate goal is, number one, to provide a more effective level of service, but number two is to be able to redeploy those assets back out into the streets to where we're actually doing more crime prevention and things like that. Michael, any final thoughts that you can think of as far as other good things that have come out of the cadet program?
Well, I think one of the best things is something that the cadets benefit from. They get the benefit of working in a law enforcement agency, being exposed to law enforcement functions. I think one of the things that's going to benefit them the most is the report writing experience that they're gaining. And I tell you, Chief, that they've been doing a fantastic job with that.
That's good to hear. And I apologize, but actually, as the sergeant in charge of training and standards for the Novi Police Department, the cadet program is actually going to fall under your guidance and leadership.
Yes, sir.
So we appreciate everything you've done, and we also are looking at the ways that you spoke of their communication skills. That is probably one of the most important skills and attributes that we can teach our young men and women, because, as we say all the time, communication is the lifeblood of any organization, and for us to be able to teach them at an early age in their law enforcement careers, their professional careers, a lot of times while they're still in college, we're teaching them those skills that are going to be beneficial to them, whether they're Novi police officers, they're federal agents, or they decide to pursue another career altogether. So we're very pleased with that. And if you'd stay tuned, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the briefing room. Thank you.